Hey guys, and welcome to Module 2. So this week we're going to be working on our Module 2 writing assignment. And so what I wanted to do briefly is to go over this assignment so you have a good understanding as to what I'm looking for this week. Okay? Um, so in this particular assignment, you're going to describe a societal trend in criminal justice, and then you're going to explain how it affects the public. And you're going to select one of the societal trends that we have covered either in Module 1, which was last week, or this week in Module 2. And so I will highlight those here in just a minute or two. Okay? But first, it's really, really important that this week you carefully review the assignment guidelines and grading rubric, which I have here in front of you, and I'm going to go over, but you really need to pay attention to the assignment guidelines and some of the specific things that you need to include in this particular assignment. All right. So first off, what you're going to do is you're going to choose one. So just one of the societal trends that we have covered either in Module 1 or Module 2. And those four are how police build rapport and improve community relations. So we learned about that last week in your discussion board assignment, right? Or you can select how the use of technology is increasing in criminal justice. And last week you looked at the pros and cons of body-worn cameras by law enforcement. The other two you're going to research this week. The first one is how bail reform impacts the criminal justice system and the community. And then the fourth one rather, is how the criminal justice system has adapted to the drug addiction paradigm shift from an individual's choice to the disease model. All right. In other words, treating a drug addiction as a medical issue and not so much as a criminal offense. That's what they're talking about there. So again, you need to choose from one of these. So you have four options here that you can select. So you're only going to select one, but you have these options that you can consider as you think about it. Now the key here is that this trend, so in other words, whichever one of these four you select, will be the basis for both this assignment and for Project 1, which is due in Module 5. So again, you need to select one of these, and then this same selection will be part of your Project 1 in Module 5. So think about that as you decide which one of these you're going to research and write about. All right. So when addressing the specific rubric criteria, here's what you need to consider. In 75 words to 100 words, craft a brief description of the trend. Include the following in your description. So you have to describe the trend, whichever one you select, and then you need to explain to me why the trend is relevant in the field of criminal justice. Secondly, in 100 to 125 words, you need to explain how the trend affects the public, including the following in your explanation. Describe who is affected by the trend and explain how they are affected. All right? So keep in mind that your responses have to be a minimum number of words in order to potentially gain a full credit for those responses. All right, so that's what you're looking for here. So again, what you need to do is make sure you follow each of the specific criteria under brief description. There are two here: describe the trend and then explain why it's relevant, and then the same way in how the trend affects the public. Describe who is affected by the trend and explain how they are affected. So again, you're going to be applying these two these two factors here to whichever trend you selected up above. Again, remember, you're only going to select one of these. All right. So that's what we're doing this week. So use your module resources, which is a great source of information, as well as your textbook. All right. So you need to demonstrate some level of research in your description and your explanations for this assignment in order to earn the exemplary rating, which I will discuss here in just a little bit. Now, also key to this assignment is this assignment must be completed using the Module 2 assignment template Word document. Okay, so again, you need to make sure you use the Module 2 assignment template Word document as you complete this assignment. All right, if you don't do that, then you'll receive fewer points in the articulation response area. All right, so just please make sure you do that. And then any references must be cited in APA style. And then here's a resource for you, Shapiro Library APA style guide for information on how to do proper citations. All right, so again, use your textbook and use your module resources as you work on this assignment. And so you need to be concise and thorough at the same time in your explanations here in terms of your description and how the trend affects the public. All right, so here's the grading rubric for this assignment. So articulation of response deals with your writing. Make sure your writing is free of any grammatical errors and is insightful and clear. A brief description. Again, the exemplary rating, proficient needs improvement, not evident. So again, for the exemplary rating, you're really going to have to show me you know what you're talking about. And typically that is demonstrate some level of research, okay? So I need to have something that puts you over into the exemplary rating from just a proficient rating, which basically is you prepare a brief description of the trend, all right? So again, brief description, how the trend affects the public, and then citations and attributions. So make sure that you cite and reference your sources and that you use proper APA style, okay? So relatively short assignment overall in terms of the number of critical elements we're looking for, brief description, and then how the trend affects the public. All right, but a couple key takeaways again for this particular assignment is, remember, you're only going to select one of the societal trends that are listed here. Number two is you need to make sure you address the specific rubric criteria described here in the number of words outlined for each of these specific rubric criteria. And then remember that this trend will be the basis for both this assignment and for project 1, which we do in module 5. So you need to make sure you remember that, all right? Because I'll be making notes here on my paperwork so that I'll remember which one you wrote about. So again, make sure you pay careful attention to what we're doing here this week and what the criteria are for these assignments, all right? And thirdly, you need to make sure that you use the Word template here, the Module 2 assignment template Word document for this assignment, and then carefully review the grading rubric as you prepare this work so you know exactly what you're going to be evaluated upon. Again, show me some evidence of research if you want to get the exemplary rating, okay? So I think that's it. This is a fairly straightforward assignment. Again, use your module resources. You have an awful lot of information, I know, that's been provided for you, as well as your textbook. But it's really a great references that you could use for this assignment. All right. So if you have any questions this week about this assignment, don't hesitate to reach out to me. And then I look forward to your submissions and seeing which one of these you selected and why. Okay, because these are really important trends that are taking place right now, and some of these you may not have been overly familiar with, but hopefully between Module 1 and Module 2 you get more insight into these specific trends that are taking place within our criminal justice system. Okay, that having been said, I think that's it. Again, if you have any questions about this assignment, if there's anything else you need, don't hesitate to reach out. All right, thanks guys, and I'll see you in Brightspace. Bye.